I want to ask you both your thoughts on Richarlison as well, because he was on the wind-up, of course. He was showboating, he was doing keepy-uppies on the pitch as well. Spurs boss Antonio Conte didn't have any issues with his players' antics. This is what he said about it.
It's a game and you are under pressure, but I repeat, it's okay, and I don't think Richie wanted to be or to show disrespectful against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is a really good team with a great history in football, and we have a great respect. And Richie, for sure, he thinks in the same way, not disrespectful for nobody, and I can tell you this.
Okay, so that's Antonio Conte saying that about his player. But what are you going to be thinking if you're a Forest fan? Are you gonna find that disrespectful, Dino?
Raging. Well, first of all, Brendan Johnson went right through him. He didn't need to do that. All you need to do is touch Richarlison on the back. He's over. So he could have just pushed him over. But he's gone right through him. And I think it's a red card all day long. But apart from everyone in the stadium and the referee must have thought, well done. He deserved that.
Send him off.
Yeah, he don't it's just come on. By the way, he was sub. That's what I'd say to him if I was on the pitch. I know you're Brazilian, but don't forget you're keeping the ball up when you're winning, and you were sub. You didn't even start the game. So the players would have been raging with that, all the players on the pitch, because I mean there is a code of conduct.
Yeah.
Bielsa looking through the fence at Frank Lampard's training session. There's a code of conduct on the pitch. You don't do that. You just don't do it.
I just love that you took us back to that time in particular.
There's little things that you just don't do. Professionals between each other, you just don't do that.
Yeah, Ali, if that's your player, so if and obviously he did come off the bench and he put in a brilliant assist.
I wouldn't like it
for Harry Kane's second goal. But yeah, what are you saying to him?
I wouldn't be angry with him, but I'd just pull him aside and say, there's no real need for that. A wee bit of respect.
What, that calm?
I wouldn't, to be honest. No, honestly, I wouldn't, mate. I wouldn't be angry with him because you won the game 2-0. You're probably in a good mood. You get him in the morning, Sunday morning or Monday morning, wherever you're in, and just say, "Listen, big fella, great result. You did really well, but I don't think there's any need for that. A wee bit of respect."
There's certain players that can do that. Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar. The world beaters. They're allowed to do that. Because it's just part of their...
Because they've earned their stripes, right?
Yeah.
What would you say to him if that was your player then, Dino?
I'll say, unless you want to get seriously hurt, don't do that in England. You might get away with it in Brazil, but don't do that in England, because it's just like a bit disrespectful when you're winning.
I don't think you would get away with it in Brazil. I think they'd probably be worse, to tell you the truth.
He's becoming that player, isn't he? He was a little bit at Everton too, because you mentioned it earlier on by some of his antics. He does go down easily and he does wind people up, and he's got that kind of fiery temper in him, right? Yeah, fiery edge that he plays football with. He's the kind of player, Dino, we said this earlier on, if he was on your team, you'd love him because you know he's going to get under everyone's skin and annoy them. But if he's anyone else looking in, you hate him and you love to hate him, right?
Well, to sum him up for me, in my opinion, he's got fire in his belly. He's good at getting on the end of crosses. He picks the flight of the ball up. He can get goals for you. He's not very good when he plays up the middle on his own with his back to goal. He's not the best at coming off and keeping hold of it. It bounces off him a bit. He goes down a bit easy. But I like him, and I'd sign him if I was in the top 6.
I think he's a great signing for Spurs, because when he came in, we were saying, look, is he going to get his starts? Is he going to... What he's doing is really pushing and really knocking on the door, and to even put a little bit of pressure on Heung-min Son, who's not started the way that he played last season yet, to even put a little bit of pressure on him and to be in the conversation of replacing him in the starting lineup. Just think, wow, I think it's a great move for him, and I think he will be brilliant for Spurs. Annoyingly.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.